Welcome to Hacking Your Leadership. I'm Chris, and welcome to another Thoughtful Thursdays episode. Thanks to everyone for tuning in today. Remember to follow us on Instagram at Hacking Your Leadership and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. And if this episode resonates with you as a leader, share it with your friends and coworkers. Hacking Your Leadership continues to grow in listenership and popularity because our fans continue sharing episodes and discussing them with friends and coworkers. Okay, for this week's episode, I want to talk about the practice of tying bonuses and raises to performance appraisals. It's something the vast majority of organizations do. Hopefully every employee is having regular conversations with their leaders at whatever interval works for that employee. But no matter if those conversations are happening weekly, monthly, or quarterly, there will almost undoubtedly be a formal annual appraisal where the performance of the entire year is evaluated and some form of formal documentation is used. And these appraisals are typically where organizations decide to attach bonuses and raises. And it makes sense to do this. It allows companies the ability to budget the increased labor costs for the year. It connects a potential reward to a year of performance, and it requires leadership to be apt at articulating the why behind each rating decision. I've worked with organizations whose annual performance appraisals were scored based solely on each person's individual performance, and I've worked with organizations where the appraisals were based on a mix of individual as well as team performance. Often, an organization will have different methods for different positions. A traveling salesperson type role who never really interacts with other teammates or coworkers and is just expected to work independently might have an appraisal that is based solely on individual results, while an in-house sales team where dozens of people work in the same office space together might have an appraisal that is a mix of individual and overall team results. And there's nothing inherently wrong or right about each of those methods, but there are definitely ways of executing each that are better for employee engagement as well as overall team performance. The reasons an organization would tie individual pay increases and bonuses to a team performance score are obvious. First, many people believe that if the overall financial health of a company isn't great, that it would be ludicrous to suggest paying anything in the way of bonuses to anyone. And on paper, they're right. Bonuses and merit increases are a way of sharing back profits with employees, and if there are no increased profits, there naturally wouldn't be anything to share. And second, many organizations hope that by attaching team performance to bonuses, it will incentivize individual team members to help each other get better. If I'm a high performer and I know half my potential bonus depends on my teammates meeting their goals too, it makes me more likely to invest time in those teammates and helping them succeed at their jobs as well. But even knowing all this, there are still many organizations that implement these practices in such a way that it lowers engagement and morale and turns the appraisal season into a stressful time rather than an exciting time. So if you're a leader of people, there are a few things you should keep in mind when it comes to balancing individual performance and team performance. First, employees who don't already care about each other will never start caring about each other's performance simply because money has been tied to the outcome. Instead, it will merely breed resentment towards low performers. If there aren't very many strong interpersonal relationships on your team, that issue needs to be rectified before you can rely on your strong employees lifting the performance of your weaker employees. Employees who care about their coworkers as people want to see those friends succeed, and the feedback will be delivered better and received better if the relationship is already solid. Second, attaching a financial incentive to team performance assumes each employee actually has the ability to help their coworkers become better. That means that if an employee must be out of the office, interacting with clients and potential clients 40 hours a week in order to meet their individual goals, it doesn't leave any time or opportunity for that high performer to coach others to try to make them better. That high-performing employee will immediately see the team portion of their potential bonus as out of their hands. They'll write it off and they'll become resentful. This is about a feeling of control. Employee morale doesn't drop after failing to reach a goal or a target if the employees feel like they had all the tools they needed to hit those targets and it was outside or unforeseen forces that got in the way. But when employees feel like they're being asked to control something that is completely out of their hands, it's a very frustrating experience. And third, while it's not always possible for every leader to impact the appraisal and bonus structure at their organization, it's still absolutely incumbent upon them as leaders to ensure that low performers are either getting better or going away. Nothing will kill morale faster than if the employees believe their finances are being negatively impacted by a few employees and their leaders are doing nothing to stop it. Sometimes the best intentions, when poorly executed, can have long-term fallout. Ensuring your appraisal and bonus structure is designed in a way that harnesses the power of friendships and allows each employee to feel in control of the outcomes will serve you in the long run. And if you're listening to this right now and you're being negatively impacted by one of these scenarios, make sure you're looking at the situation with a high level of self-awareness. If the system is poorly designed at your company and you can influence the potential change, you should do it. But if the only reason team performance is holding you back is because you aren't motivated to put the effort into your coworkers' performance, it might be a good time to ask yourself why. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on Monday.